Okay. Hey, I just want to demo really quick how to calibrate your analog stick on a tuffpad, or any of my mods for that matter. It uses the same device manager software. The first thing to do is to make sure that you are not in KB mode for the current profile. So I've got this turned off right now. If KB mode is enabled, it makes the calibration process complicated. But once it's off, you can just go to advanced. And I've already got these values kind of messed up on purpose. But one thing you can do to start is these two boxes down here. So this raw box is the raw values coming off of the stick. And then this calculated box is the stick values after the auto centering algorithm has been applied, after the dead zone has been applied, after the stick boundaries have been applied and compensated for. Ideally, whatever this is showing over here, you should see the stick at rest be center or close to center. It should be dead bang on center, honestly. And then you should have full range of motion. And it depends on how you want to use the stick. Some people like short throws or long throws. It just depends. So what I'm going to do first is click read stick, and I'm going to rotate the stick in full circles, and I'm going to get what the low and high values are here for each of the axes. So reading stick, you can already see the difference, but I'm going to just full circles. Okay, so what that's done is it's recorded what the min and max kind of were for me. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set these values up here to kind of match. So let's just start. The low X should be, I don't know, 1200-ish. Sorry, 12,000-ish. The high X should be 49-ish. And the same for low and Y, low and high Y, 14,000 and 52,000. Okay, now I'm going to do some feel testing. So I'm just going to move the stick up slowly. And what I'm trying to do is I'm watching this on the calculated side. I'm watching where this plus hits the edge versus where the stick under my thumb mechanically hits its boundary. And as long as it's close, personally for me, that's good. Some people like this to bottom out faster. Some people like their stick throws to be much shorter, so they'll have it actually scale and hit the max value before the stick is mechanically hit the mechanical value or the mechanical limit. It just depends on how you want to play. So let's say I wanted to do that, and this right now this is working. So I'm pushing up, and it's hitting basically the edge right where the stick under my thumb mechanically can't go any farther. So the mechanical limit is the soft limit, which is what I want. Some people might want this to be closer in, so let me just give it a different value here. I think I need to be, that's the high Y, high X. Yeah, high X. So now it's hitting that limit. Sorry, Y. Y is the I'm dumb. This is the y-axis. So now you can see the cross is hitting this soft limit here, and I'm moving the stick maybe halfway physically. I've got a lot more room past, but once I can keep pushing and it doesn't do anything. So if you wanted a really short throw, you could do that. I don't personally like that, but you can do it that way. So that's generally how you do this. You can play with these values. I would encourage you to not drag the slider back and forth, click in here or edit it manually, because this software is talking to the microcontroller on the tuffpad or on your mod over USB serial, and that's a very slow bus, and the microcontroller can only process so much data at once. So if you drag this thing around a bunch, you might out of bounds memory your microcontroller, and you won't kill it, but you'll just have to reset it. You'll just have to unplug it and plug it back in and let it reboot. So don't yank these sliders around like crazy. And then once you have this the way you want it, come back over. If you had keyboard mode on and you had to turn it off, turn it back on, or just leave it off if you prefer it, and then click save, and it'll persist these values. That's how I go through this process before I ship. So when I ship these out, I do this calibration for everybody, and then people are free to calibrate this how they want to. But anyways, you should do this periodically, especially if you notice a difference in game. We are dealing with mechanical sticks with springs and potentiometers, and those are all mechanical devices that can and do wear out. On the Hall effect sticks that I use, that should happen much, much, much less. Basically, the only thing that can go bad or get out of spec on a Hall effect stick is the centering spring. Everything else shouldn't. There's no friction inside, so you shouldn't have drift or values change over time. You just might feel the stick losing its auto centering power, losing that over time. Years though, these are steel springs, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. But yeah, I put this in here so people can mess with this, but I'm making this video specifically because someone asked, and apparently I didn't make this intuitive enough, and it's confusing. So I just wanted to kind of clarify what all this is for. And then, you can just turn it off, stop reading, save, disconnect, close it, and move on with your life. That's it. Thanks.